Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sarala. Welcome to Millet Magic. Today we are presenting to you the first video of the series of videos on the topic of proteins. We are going to be discussing in detail regarding proteins and their consumption. I'm sure all of you have lots of questions regarding this topic. Please do watch the complete video so that you get a good understanding regarding the topic, and feel free to drop your questions in the comment section below. At the end of the series, we will be making a separate video dedicated to answering all your questions so that there are no doubts left in your mind. So let's quickly begin with the video.
Namaste. Of late, there is a lot of narrative built upon protein. Protein is very important. Protein is chain of amino acids arranged in a particular fashion. Each and every animal builds up its own protein. So human body also builds up its own protein. And the narrative built is that protein is available in the non-vegetarian food and meat. So basically all the animals get their protein from plants only. It is the plants that fix nitrogen, then amino acids are synthesized. These amino acids are made into proteins in the plants too. So any animal that eats the plant protein has to digest, understandably make different amino acids or different peptides. Then if the sequences are right for their particular protein structure, they can assemble. So what it really means is that one animal makes protein, the same protein does not fit for human body. So human body has to digest. So there is a protein, animal protein, plant protein. Indeed, it is very difficult for human physiology to digest animal protein when compared to plant protein. So we actually have no peptidases till we get to the intestines. Not a single peptidase exists in our mouth. And we actually need 4 to 5% of protein because we do not get energy burning protein. Protein is a building body for different enzymes, different transmitters, regulators. So the physiological, biochemical reactions take place with the help of proteins. And in fact, glucose burning takes place in mitochondria to release energy. So protein is not a material which is used to produce or to burn and give energy. It is the carbohydrate and it is the glucose that is burnt. So we don't need protein in large quantities. On top of that, the extra protein has to be dealt, and we will be in trouble if we have extra protein going into our body. And this is the reason why we have a lot of chronic kidney diseases of late, because we are taking too much protein, because the narrative is built in the last 10-15 years saying that protein is very important. It is important, but not the way it is built up. So We need small amounts of protein. That means 4 to 5 grams per 100 gram of the total meal. That's all that we need. And if extra, then we are putting our liver and kidney into trouble. And we are better off eating plant protein because we can digest and build up our proteins that are required. So the biosynthesis of protein, digesting the protein, these are the two important steps. So it's easier when you're on plant protein. And on top of it, plant protein is of two different kinds, dicotyledons and cereals, that is monocotyledons. So dicots have protein and unregulated glucose, that is carbohydrate, up to 60%. So dicotyledons, pulses, lentils, all this group where you have nitrogen fixing bacteria in their roots are the primary source of protein synthesis on this planet. So it's important that we encourage ourselves to eat plant protein, and we also have C4 grasses building the protein into themselves. So these are the two different kinds of proteins, and many people are under the impression that plant proteins do not have certain amino acids that human body requires. And that is also not very true, because the millets, the protein is complete sequences. So we have no dearth for amino acid, right amino acids that we require. Certain lentils may lack certain amino acids, but when our food is complete with cereals, pulses, roots and tubers, and greens and vegetables, we have no problem as far as the amino acids are concerned. And there is a wrong narrative built in the world due to the protein requirement is designed, rather being implied, that you need 1 gram protein per kilogram body weight. And this is way too much for our kidney or and liver to handle. And that's why we get into the diseased conditions. So simply put, we are better off eating plant protein, and that too in 4 to 5% of our meal. This is all that makes you keep healthy and strong. And proteins do not give you energy. We cannot burn protein. It is the carbohydrate that is to be burnt, and the paraphernalia where the energy is released and how it is done is actually assisted by the protein molecules of different nature. So this is the story of protein. So let's all be prudent and not consume too much protein, because consuming too much protein is dangerous. Unlike carbohydrate, which can transform itself into fat, then store themselves, and then come back and again to be burnt. So you become obese and you can become thin again. If you do exercise, you burn more fat or glucose like that. So uncontrolled release of protein molecules in your bloodstream is going to be a problem, and then you will have what is called albuminuria, and then uric acid, and then creatinine. These kinds of nitrogen based molecules becoming extra in your bloodstream leads to pressure on your liver and kidney. So 4 to 5 grams of protein, that too plant protein, that too millets have wonderful combination. Foxtail millet has approximately 11% of protein. Brown top millet has got 12 approximately, and proso millet has 11.5, and other millets have 6 to 7% of protein. So all millets are endowed with the right amount of protein for your food, for your metabolism, and hence they are important, and most important is that they have regulation. The fiber built in with the millet proteins, it can regulate the protein itself, it can regulate the carbohydrate. Thus, millets are really placed in a wonderful way for our consumption. You can have pulses, lentils protein too, but it is approximately around 20 to 25 grams percentage wise, and it is unregulated protein. So you can have creatively proper mix of lentil protein, millet protein, and make your life very, very healthy.